Greetings, Lauren Montecon here from Montecon Studio. This is a part 2 to creating a body of work. In part 1, I talked about the importance of a guideline, not a rule, of perhaps having a start with the same size. As you can see, something like this. 2 rectangles, maybe you make 5, 6, 7 of them, put the tape around them, start it as a vertical or a horizontal. What I do is I will close my eyes and feel my piece. Do I want it big? Do I want it small? Especially if I'm working with paper. When you start getting into wood panels, you can make those decisions when you go to the art supply store or have wood cut or have your canvas stretched. Maybe having 5 or 6 pieces. But there's something that happens, like some of my best work has been bodies of work where I might set up 36 by 40 pieces of wood panel and then kind of start with my mark making like I did in the first part of the video, part 1 of making a body of work. But then there's something that does happen every once in a while, and I'm going to share the in process of that that's going on now. I have not been sitting in my studio this past year and just making 8 pieces from start to finish with the same marks. Or I had talked about in part 1 of choose 3 colors, start with some mark making, maybe have a theme that you start from, a poem or an idea that you have for a body of work. I have been working in fits and starts. It's just, sometimes that's the way life works. I also will start some pieces, they're not working, put them away, pull them out. And I call that a little bit disjointed, but that is how this last year has been. So behind me, I just today got 4 panels up that have been going on for about 7 or 8 months, not made, starting at the same time, but they are the same size. So, and if you see these, you'll see that they're not quite all related. Now this one is going to be reminiscent of what I did in part 1. I showed you that I did handmade gesso. This is charcoal. There's some collage. There's some carving in. You can find this in my Alchemy of Mixed Media as well, joint compound on the bottom, and I've been doing these stripes, and this is blue tape. Then I sanded it. Now this is the beginning of a piece. This is probably in its middle, kind of not done, but working off this idea that's going on in the corner over here. I'm thinking the geometrical patterns that are then playing with atmosphere. So that was happening about 2 or 3 months ago. And over here, still in progress, these geometrical patterns that I am then bringing atmosphere into. Now, had I started these all at the same time, you would probably maybe even see more of this horizontal line in all of them. That didn't happen. This is now, or actually this one right here is playing off of this one. And this is an anomaly, it's smaller, but it really was painted over the course of a whole year. So this piece, like I said, took about a year. And you can see the collage underneath. You can see the wings, which is a theme that I utilize in my work often. And this is done. But let's just kind of do a visit. As you can see, these 2 are in relationship to each other, definitely made around the same time as what's going on with this body of work. This is new, so we don't know yet. And you can see the relationship between this piece and what's happening here, which got put away and has been brought back out. And now the goal is, how am I going to bring these all as a body of work? There's one element that's probably going to win out over the other, and I don't know yet. This being done, if I want to treat this as one body of work that I might shop around to do a show, then I don't want them not relating. I mean, it's ascension. I'm dealing with this idea of something of above and below, the same of the middle ground being what is geometric shapes, kind of a symbol of humanity, of planet Earth, of, I know that's abstract, but that's kind of where my head is going. So, what do? Because what if you have small pieces that aren't done, that are kind of in the middle, but you want to bring them together? Over here, you're going to see, I use this as my palette. This one kind of is starting with that geometric shape, organic shape, but something you can do, like I showed in video 1, where I brought collage materials together, you could cut out something, just and repeat it, even if it's small, somehow, in all the pieces, to bring in order again. I don't think I'm going to do that with these big ones. I don't know the answer yet, but you might see it in another video as I get closer to finishing this body of work. Same over here. Let me go over here. This is, you can almost tell that this piece was probably made around the same time as this one. But if I'm dealing with all 3 or 4, it's how brave do you want to get? This one might almost be done. I'm taking it away. Put that over there. And this one, I'm not going to touch that one either. But these, which I can show you over here as well. One way is what I call bringing in negative space, oxygen, breathing room. It's just as important as, you can come in with white. That's not really white, notice, not really white. Let's try it again. See if I can get a pure color here. Ah, this isn't working the way I want, but here we are. It's because my white isn't pure. My brush is dirty, that's why. I know you've all seen me do this a zillion times, but when you get too much paint, one, you can use baby wipes. I'm supposed to be showing you how to bring these all in together, like as a body of work. Not really working. But I guess if I made that black or white or red or pink or a piece sometimes just doesn't work at all, and you just gotta put it on the side. I just wanted to do a beginning if you were doing smaller. Mostly these bigger pieces are really what I wanted to show you for part 2 of what do you do when you've been working on pieces and they're not done. And clearly they might even be pieces you were thinking of discarding all along, which sometimes we overwork stuff completely, that energetically you can't even bring it back. But oftentimes you just need to keep going. And if you have paintings that are same size, bringing them and looking at them together might stir something in you, spark something in you. I think it's valid to then, if you're willing, just start mark making in such a way where you bring them as a grouping, or not. Okay, this is Lauren Montecon at Montecon Studio. I'll see you all next time.